Rule 1 are in a pickle. After coming out of the last major that we just had in Copenhagen, they were eliminated 1-3, and, it had to be somebody. We had so many competitive teams that were going to be at this event. There's just no way all of the teams were going to be able to make the splash that they wanted. But Rule 1 went out in a way that was a little surprising, and probably they did not anticipate it. I'm certain that their fans did not. 1-3, and a lot of the series weren't great. Some of them, it's just matchups. What are you going to do? But, the results are the results, so let me not caveat it. Lost to M8 to open things up, to Gentlemates Alpine, the eventual winners of the whole thing. So not too bad of a loss there, but 1-3, a couple tight games, and overtime to close it. Lost 0-3 to G2. Probably a little closer than an 0-3 goes, but hey, at the end of the day, a sweep is a sweep. They lost, they got a win over Elevate, 3-1. You would hope that Elevate's a team that you can sweep out, being one of the two most minor regions. But hey, well played to Elevate. Pretty good series and event for them, especially Sphinx, who I had a video on recently, if you'd like to check that out. And finally, what we are watching now is their final loss in round 4 to Power, the top-seeded OCE team, who got pretty close to making a playoff berth, but they were unable to do so. It went 5 against Power, and why are we watching this matchup? Well, that kind of gets me to the meat of what I want to talk about in this video, which is the challenge that Rule 1 finds currently with their roster. This game, out of the 16 they played, is the only one in which Ahmad was the MVP for the team. oKhaliD had 5 MVPs to himself, and Nwpo had the other 10, which, it makes sense that Nwpo has 10. He is the best player on your team. He is kind of the talisman, as we say it in the space, if you will. And he's the next big thing. A lot of shots for him. And you kind of want him to be that creator that kind of can unlock Khalid and Ahmad, yet as the results showed us, unable to do that. Now, for Khalid, not too surprising. Always been somebody who isn't on the offensive end too heavily. He's the original menace from Mina, if you will. He was the one who had that 1v1 career really pop at the start, and then we had players like TRK come after him. Ahmad, of course, was solid as well. But Khalid was that original defender, and the original roster for Team Falcons, Sandrock Gaming, Ahmad, Khalid, and TRK, played together and won quite a bit. They ended up getting second place at the Winter Major, and they had to lose 2 straight best of 7s to Moist, which at the time was Rise Joy Vatira, to get second place in that event. And we just thought, okay, they're going to keep growing from here, but they were unable to. Eventually the twins come in, stuff happens, you get a little older, and now Rule 1 is at a spot where what are they supposed to do with their future? There's a couple ways you can go with this, and good thing that I'm not paid any money to make big decisions like this, because my ultimate answer is I don't know what you should do, but I'm going to lay out what some of the options are, and only time will tell what direction they end up going. I think it's always important when we're thinking about decisions to talk about what we can learn from the past, and my mind immediately thinks of Furia of old, where they had Yan, who hit not the shot, but one of the shots to eliminate Moist, and then things kind of went sideways. So without getting too far into the weeds, as we have 1:16 left in this game, they had one incredible player and 2 kind of veterans of their minor region, which at the time was Kaio and Card, and they decided to move off of Kaio, bring in a bit of youth, and lost, and it just honestly didn't work out as well as they anticipated. They ended up dropping Card as well eventually because they couldn't win in North America, and they picked up Jerfinio, and now they're back. But hey, that was a long road to get here, and I don't know if Rule 1 have the stomach or should consider stomaching bringing on some new talent to replace one of these guys like Khalid or Ahmad. Neither of them are necessarily getting any better, which doesn't mean that you need to replace them, but there's some outstanding stats like Ahmad shooting 6 for 38 in this event that make you say, huh? And then that stat gets even worse when you see that 5 of the goals and 10 of the shots were against Elevate. So if you remove the Elevate series, which is certainly the weakest opponent they had, Ahmad shot a disgusting 1 for 28 in this event, which is not what you want from someone who's supposed to be that kind of Alpha 54 to your Nwpo Zen as this kind of finisher off the ball. Clearly, he's getting stuck in weird spots where he's not exactly sure what he's supposed to be doing. He's kind of getting stretched between what he was previously and what he needs to be now. And maybe you just wait it out and see what the future holds. Nwpo's going to get better. They're going to gel more as a team. Shoot, it's only been one split, right? But saying that exact same thing a different way as Ahmad's defense is not going to be enough to save them here. If you say that sentence the other way, that there's only one split that they played together, we only get 2 majors these seasons nowadays. So you don't have a ton of time to make decisions. And I think something that really should be in high consideration for this team is the fact that you're not catching Falcons. That team looked awesome. They beat the pulp out of roll 1 all throughout the first split, and they look fantastic at the international stage. So if you are trying to continue contending with that team, maybe you decide to roll the dice and take a risk on some young talent. You know, Venom and SMW we've seen before at LANs. Natter is a player who just came off of a great split. Mohamed is, I think, how you probably say it, because Masen is M7, but M7MD Mohamed, I would guess. He had a statistically great split as well. So do they look to kind of rejuvenate and bring in new talent, or do they keep pat and continue trying to trudge forward? I don't know the answer to these questions, but I would love to hear y'all's perspectives in the comments below. Guys, sorry there was no video yesterday. I had the hiccups. What are you going to do? But as always, guys, thanks so much for taking the time, and until next time, take it easy.